Hello everyone, welcome to online audio video lecture series of the Sid Vedya Mandir High School Junior College Science and Commerce. Now I am explaining chapter Chemical Thermodynamics. In this video I will cover these topics. First, internal energy. Second, first law of thermodynamics. Type equation here. Enthalpy and relationship between delta H and delta U. As you know that myself Rajnish Pandey for chemistry. Now internal energy. So every substance is associated with a definite amount of energy. This stored in a substance is internal energy denoted by capital U. Internal energy is the sum of kinetic energy and potential energy. Now, so U is equal to kinetic energy plus potential energy. Kinetic energy because of the movement of molecules like the translational energy, vibrational energy, rotational energy, electronic energy, potential energy like that intramolecular bonding, intermolecular bonding. These are the potential energy. So sum of the kinetic and potential energy is called internal energy. Now if U1 is the initial internal energy of system and U2 is final internal energy of system, then change in internal energy delta U is equal to U2 minus U1. Change in internal energy is the difference in the final internal energy and the initial internal energy of the system. Actual exact amount of internal energy of a system cannot be calculated, but the difference, otherwise change in internal energy can be calculated, which is used in this thermodynamic. And this is the state function as well as the extensive property which depend upon the amount of substance. Transfer of energy from system would change its internal energy. First, the energy transfer to system by heating it or performing work on it, then internal energy added to the system. When we heat any system, otherwise we work on the system, then internal energy of system will increase. The energy transfer from system by cooling or performing work on surroundings, then internal energy remove, otherwise decrease in the internal energy of the system. Now, first law of thermodynamics. First we consider the statement of first law of thermodynamics. Actually this is the law of conservation of energy. Energy neither created nor destroyed. But one form of energy can convert to other form of energy. So statement first, energy of universe remain constant. Second, the total internal energy of an isolated system is constant. Energy is neither created nor destroyed and can only be converted from one form to the other form. Now formula of first law of thermodynamics. Suppose Q is the heat supplied to the system and W work done on the system by the surrounding, then internal energy of system would be increased. Therefore, we can say that delta U is equal to Q plus W, where delta U is the change in internal energy of system, and in this case when we supply heat to the system and work done on the system, then delta U will increase. So delta U is equal to Q, which is the heat given to the system, and W, which is work done on the system. So delta U is equal to Q plus W. For infinitesimal change, very small change, then we can write this delta will replace by d, then we get this du is equal to dq plus dW. Now first law of thermodynamics for various process. First we consider in isothermal process. As we know that in isothermal process temperature of system remain constant, therefore delta U is also constant. So temperature is constant in such process, therefore internal energy is also constant. So can say that delta U is equal to 0, then we get W is equal to minus Q. It means in isothermal process work done on the system, then it will release Q amount of heat. Otherwise, when we give Q amount of heat to the system in isothermal process, then it will be equal to the work done by the system on the surrounding. So this equation can also write W is equal to minus Q, otherwise Q is equal to minus W. So Q is the given amount of heat to the system and minus W means what? Work done by the system on the surrounding. So when process is isothermal, delta U is equal to 0, then given amount of heat to the system will use to work done by the system on the surrounding. Now second, adiabatic process. In adiabatic process, there is no exchange of heat between system and its surroundings. That is Q is equal to 0. So we can say that delta U is equal to W. It means in adiabatic process where heat is constant, heat not change from system to surrounding, surrounding to system, it means change in internal energy will be equal to the work done on the system by the surrounding. W is positive, it means what? Work done on the system by the surrounding. So when delta U is equal to W, it means change in internal energy will be equal to work done on the system by the surrounding. Now isochoric process. In isochoric process, delta V is equal to 0. It means no change in the volume. So W is equal to minus P into delta V. That is delta U is equal to Q plus W. So we can write here delta U is equal to Q minus P into delta V. In isochoric process, delta V is equal to 0. That's why we can write here delta U is equal to Q. So when process is isochoric, volume is constant, then given amount of heat to system, which is Q, will be equal to change in internal energy. Q is equal to delta U, indicating that in isochoric process, given heat to system will be equal to change in internal energy of the system. Now isobaric process. In isobaric process, pressure is constant. Usually chemical reaction are carried out in open containers under the constant atmospheric pressure. So Q is equal to delta U plus P into delta V, as we know that. So Q is equal to delta U plus P into delta V means what? At constant pressure, given amount of heat to system use in two ways. First, to increase the internal energy, and second, pressure volume work energy. Now enthalpy, capital H. Enthalpy is the sum of internal energy and pressure volume work. So enthalpy of a system is sum of internal energy of a system and the energy equivalent to pressure volume work. So on that basis we can say that H is equal to U plus P into V, where H is enthalpy, U is internal energy, P into V is what? Pressure volume energy, pressure volume work energy. Now change in enthalpy delta H is also state function. So we can say that delta H is equal to H2 minus H1, where H1 and H2 are the initial enthalpy of system and final enthalpy of system respectively. So H1 is equal to, we can write this, H1 is equal to U1 plus P1 into V1, and H2 is equal to U2 plus P2 into V2. So delta H is equal to U2 plus P2 into V2 minus U1 plus P1 into V1. Then we can write it within bracket, we take this U2 minus U1 plus within bracket P2 V2 minus P1 V1. So this U2 minus U1 is the delta U, and P2 V2 minus P1 V1 is what? Delta P into V. But at constant pressure, where P1 is equal to P2 is equal to P, then we write this equation in this way: delta H is equal to delta U plus P into delta V. If pressure inside and outside is same, then finally equation is what? QP. QP means what? Given heat to the system at constant pressure will be equal to the change in internal energy and pressure volume work, that is the P into delta V. So QP is equal to delta U plus P into delta V. And in this case, delta H is equal to delta QP. Now, relationship between delta H and delta U for chemical reaction. This is important equation. Most important, relationship between delta H and delta U for chemical reactions. Now at constant pressure, delta H is equal to delta U plus P into delta V. Now this equation can write in this way. Sorry. For reaction involving solid and liquid, delta V usually is very small. On that case, delta H will be equal to delta U. Second, for reaction involving gaseous reaction, then delta V cannot be neglected. In this case, delta H will be equal to delta U plus P into delta V. Otherwise, we can write delta H is equal to delta U plus P within bracket V2 minus V1, and delta H is equal to delta U plus P V2 minus P V1. Now, according to the ideal gas equation, now V1 and V2 is the volume of the system, initial and final volume of the system. V1 is the volume of gaseous phase of reactants, and V2 is the volume of gaseous phase of the products. Now we assume reactants and products behave ideally. Applying ideal gas equation, Pv is equal to nRT, where N1 is the number of moles of the gaseous reactants produced, N2 mole of the gaseous products. The ideal gas equation given PV1 is equal to N1RT and PV2 is equal to N2RT. Now we substitute this value in the equation 1, then we get delta H is equal to delta U plus N2RT minus N1RT. So next, therefore delta U is equal to within bracket N2 minus N1RT, and N2 minus N1 is the delta N. So we can write this equation: delta H is equal to delta U plus delta nRT, where delta N is the difference between number of moles of gaseous product and number of mole of gaseous reactant. This is important part: gaseous reactant and gaseous product. So final equation, delta H is equal to delta nRT. This is very most important equation which is used for the calculation also. Now after that, work done in chemical reaction. The work done by system at constant temperature and pressure is given by W is equal to P into delta V. Assuming external pressure is equal to P, then W is equal to minus P into delta V, otherwise minus P into V2 minus V1, otherwise minus P V2 minus plus P V1. So ideal gas equation, we write this: PV is equal to nRT, then PV1 is equal to N1RT and PV2 is equal to N2RT. Now we substitute this value in our equation, then we get at constant pressure W is equal to N2 RT, sorry, minus N2 RT plus N1 RT. When we take this RT as a common, then we get what? Minus N2 minus N1 RT. Then this is the minus delta N RT. So W is equal to minus delta N RT, where delta N is, as usual, this is the difference in the number of moles of gaseous product and number of mole of gaseous reactant. Gaseous product or gaseous reactant, this is important part. R is the gas constant and T is the temperature. So here is the conditions. First, if N2 is greater than N1, then delta N is what? Negative. That indicating W will be lower than 0. It means work is done by the system on the surrounding. Second condition, if N1 is greater than N2, then delta N is what? Negative. And W, sorry, when N2 is greater than N1, then delta N is what? Positive. Sorry, negative. And in second condition, N1 is greater than N2, then will be what? Negative. Positive. Sorry. Here is the mistake, little mistake in the second point. We will write this will be what? Positive. Then W is what? Greater than 0, or work is done on the system by the surrounding. Instead of negative, we write this positive. When N1 is greater than N2, then will be what? Positive. So last condition, if N1 is equal to N2, then delta N is equal to 0. It means what? W is equal to also 0, or no work is done when number of moles of gaseous reactant is equal to the number of mole of gaseous product. So this is the relationship, and this is the equation which is used for the work done in the chemical reactions. Thank you so much. Now next part we'll explain in the next video.